I wanted to give you a quick overview of how to use the Zoom platform. So this is a screen once you open up the Zoom application, and you can either schedule a meeting or schedule your sessions, and then you can also start a new meeting. So I'm going to start a new meeting. Okay, so it's just me for now, but if you had a student joining in, they would join through a link and their video would pop up as well. So I'm going to show you some of the features. So here's the chat. So your students can talk to you on the chat. You can record. You can also do reactions. So I can put a thumbs up or clap. And then I will show you the screen sharing. So I'm going to start with the whiteboard. So this whiteboard is basically just like having a regular whiteboard, and you can type, you can change the font color, you can change the text size, whether it's bold or italicized. You can draw any of these lines or shapes. You can make stamps, so you can put a check if they get it right, or a heart. And then this is the laser tool. So it spotlights. So if you wanted to highlight a section of a story or something like that, you could highlight it like this. And then there's also this little arrow if you want to grab their attention. And then you can individually erase things using this eraser. You can undo and redo. And you can clear all of the writing or drawing that you did by pressing the clear. You can also save a copy of the whiteboard. So if you were writing a story and having comprehension questions on here, let's say, and you wanted to save what the student said, you could save it here for your own personal records. So that's the whiteboard tool. And then if you go back to screen sharing, there's a few other options here that I want to show you. So you can share individual windows as well as your whole desktop. So let's start with individual windows. So you want to always click off share computer screen if you're going to be showing a video. Otherwise, they won't hear the sound. So here is a YouTube video of a Pete the Cat story. So when I play it, you can hear it. And this is great if you just want to read the story, but if you have a student that needs visual support, you might want to have two windows open, so the YouTube video and the visual support. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So in this case, you actually want to share your desktop. If you have messages that you receive on your computer, you want to make sure that those notifications are turned off, because the messages will pop up in the corner and whoever you are video chatting with will see that. So in this case, I also want to open a topic board, but this window is really big. So you can make one window smaller to fit your needs. So for this situation, now I have a split screen. You can see the topic board visuals, and you also have the video here. I always use theater mode in YouTube. It just kind of takes all of the ads and extra stuff away. So if we were reading this story and I wanted to model, let's say,
Pete the Cat was walking down the street in his brand new white shoes.
So they can see your arrow, but if you wanted to make it a little bit more clear, you want to go back to that Annotate tool and you can actually draw circles. Oh, look at his shoes. What color are his shoes? And you can circle, okay, they're white shoes. You can also use that laser pointer. So that's some great attention grabbing things that you can do. Also, you're not going to be able to see it right now because it's just me, but there is a feature if you click the More button to give remote control to the person that you're video chatting with. So you would click More and a little mouse would pop up and it would say remote control, and then the drop down comes down and you have to click their name. So if you're with a group, you can actually give screen control to one person at a time. Not every student will be able to have screen control access. It kind of depends on the device, and sometimes it's super glitchy, but either way, you can always draw their attention to the screen by using the draw or the laser. And for the most part, they should be able to, if they use Annotate, they should be able to mark it kind of like this if you want them to point. Oh, what color are their shoes? And then they would point. If it's an iPad, they can point, or touchscreen, and it'll mark off here. Or if it's a computer, they can use their mouse and they can mark it. So that is one great way to split your screen and have multiple windows open at once. Another thing that you can do is use Airplay. So, as you can see, it's telling me to screen mirror. So I have my iPad here, and what you want to do is pull down this window, and you're going to click screen mirroring right there. Once you click screen mirroring, it should come up to your computer. You can also do this from your phone, but it's typically better visual from an iPad. So you're just clicking off this screen, and then you can basically use any app on here. The student won't be able to control access to your iPad screen. They will just be able to view it, but it's super engaging either way, just something fun. This is one thing that I use for my students that have devices. I have Touch Chat Lite, so I can model. I can actually show them my video here, or I can just press go, and it'll show you I'm pressing go. So that's a good way to model using the iPad and the student's individual device software. If I wanted to do a different game, I could open, let's say, this game. I believe this is like Toca Boca Eats or Toca Boca Kitchen. So, ooh, which monster do you want to feed today? The blue monster or the brown monster with the banana on his head? I like this monster with the banana. Let's use him. He looks very hungry. What should we feed him today? And let's say the student says lemon. Ooh, he didn't like that. So that's super fun. Any animated game or iPad app you can basically pull up on Zoom. And they can direct your action for pretty much any activity, which is great. And you can access Boom Learning, which I'll go into another time. This is the Boom Learning app. And you can also access your Drive, your Google Drive. So if you have any materials in there, you can access it that way too. So another thing I want to show you is with your video, you can choose a virtual background. So I have a bunch of different virtual backgrounds in here. I believe these were the ones that came with the computer or the Zoom app. I added this Boardmaker PCOS one. So as you can see, now I'm in the mountains. I did some other fun ones where I picked the library and I was like, where am I? What can I do here? An office, supermarket, movie theater. These are great for inferencing. You can kind of just pick a bunch of random backgrounds and ask them where you are and how they know. Pool, and then you could do some fun things with swimming. Some other board maker options. I also did one where I put a core board on here so I could model by pointing things like this. One of my students loves Thomas the Train, so I did Thomas the Train, the Lightning McQueen, and some other fun ones here, penguins, other silly things. There's also some video options. I'm at the beach. So yeah, that's just another fun feature that you can do. That's pretty much everything on Zoom. I hope that was helpful. And if you have any other questions, feel free to comment or message me or write in the group, and I'll be happy to help. Hope that was helpful.